Well, it wasn't bad. It wasn't that bad. The ending was really good. I'm the Godfather, Soldier, and Slim, and name my topic tonight is called Chaos, Confusion, and Craziness in Chicago. Will Wrestlepalooza be any good? Be any good 2 weeks from tomorrow? So much to say. But before I start my show, I'm up the show with a little bit of music. I open the show with this #1 hit single from this #1 hit single from let's see, called "Holla Back" by Gwen Stefani. So stick around, right back and get the music playing. Stick around, right back, get the music playing. I'll be right back. Just hold on, give me 1 second. And here it go. Here it is. Yep, Holla Back Girl by Gwen Stefani, all you just heard. So let's get down to business with tonight's show. Let's get down tonight. Let's get down tonight. Okay, WWE Then Now Forever Together opens up. We get a look at superstar arrivals, including CM Punk. Um, despite WWE pulling him up from the lineup, followed by a video package with highlights from Clash in Paris. Big focus on John Cena's win over Logan Paul and Seth Rollins retaining the World Heavyweight Championship thanks to help from the man whore Becky Lynch. John Cena's final appearance in Chicago. We head back to ringside as John Cena comes out to a big pop for his final appearance in the vicinity of Chicago. We acknowledge that Stu is back before heading down the ramp where he gets in the ring introduction while the crowd continues to cheer in appreciation of the 17-time World Heavyweight Champion. Cena doesn't get to speak just as yet as the fans chant, "Thank you, Cena." Cena before he finally chimes in saying they don't know what it means having that come from Chicago. He talks about being a special night. When he first announced his retirement tour, people keep telling him to enjoy this. He came off a lot of bad years and needed to get his mojo back. So he wanted to find his soul again and leave it all in the ring. And he said this because he came out here with absolutely nothing planned. Tonight he wanted to have fun. For over half his tour, he had overcome his hurdles, having the fans have been there with him. But tonight he's just going to take it in. Cena chants erupt, something that he admits he feels something weird coming from Chicago. He points out a couple of fans that he says they all used to look like saying something else. F you, Cena. And you can fill in the blanks. He then talks about these fans bringing people back. Curiously, this brings up an AJ Lee chant from the crowd, to which Cena says this is going to be a fun night. He talks about making his big WWE debut in this very city, walking down the ramp in skimpy tights and slapping Kurt Angle to get this crazy rage strike. He talks about the matches with Triple H and others in this building and how he came up in a second in a title match. That title match with that title ending up in CM Punk's refrigerator. He says this is the greatest crowd in WWE for something that might be an argument. For there, none is from him. He thanks this crowd for being there for him, for keeping him humble, and letting him experience the failure and humility. Another thank you Cena chant as he says for one last time when he needed the most. They help him experience joy. He has no other words, just to thank the fans here in Chicago. Enjoy a hell of a night tonight. Before he can leave, however, he is interrupted by the arrival of Sami Zayn. The crowd sings along with the theme of the new United U.S. champion as he heads to the ring asking for a microphone of his own. The crowd curiously begins booing as Sami Zayn's booing it, sings as he is saying he just wanted to tell Cena that after watching him on his tour, Cena tries to calm the crowd down, saying it's happy hour here in Chicago as he is here for the boos. This gets a nice pop as they start to boo Zayn again until he makes it clear he is here to thank Cena. This gets a nice reaction as he thanks Cena for everything. He acknowledges to making his crowd in WWE against Cena, and he's going after the United U.S. Championship. And now he stands here as that very champion. He acknowledges the U.S. Champion Open Challenge and asks for Cena's permission to carry out on the legacy, offering that opportunity. Cena appreciates this, saying he gives his blessing as he starts to leave, but Sammy says not to leave just yet. He says that he had barely 1 foot in the door when Cena gave him that opportunity, and now Cena has 1 foot out of the door. If this is truly Cena's last time here in Chicago, and if this is Cena's chance for Zayn to share in the ring with him, then he would love to offer Cena that opportunity at the U.S. Championship. He doesn't want to do it in a month or in a week. He wants that here in Chicago right now. To quote the greatest of all time, "If you want some, come get some." Cena confirms that the offer being made in excess. He takes his shirt off and he gets ready to go. That match is up next. Commercial break. U.S. Championship Open Challenge. Sami Zayn defends against John Cena. We come back from break just as this match gets underway. A slow start as they circle the mat before locking up. Cena hits the ropes only to be taken to the canvas with an arm drag by Zayn. Keeps a hold on the arm until Cena fights back to his feet. Zayn hits the ropes as Cena leapfrogs him before taking the champ down with an arm drag of his own. Zayn says Zayn up to his feet, but Cena gets a slide headlock, sending the champ to the ropes. But Sami catches the challenger with a clothesline for a 2 count. 2 count. Vertical suplex falls. Zayn falls, and Zayn gets another near fall for his effort. Dueling chance to "Let's go Cena," and Sami sucks as his fight for control leads to a Cena hitting a suplex on Zayn. Sami heads to the quarter, dodging an attack from the challenger before bringing him back up. Hammer throw to the opposite corner gets some boos from the crowd as he brings Cena back to his feet for another hammer throw. And the impact forces Cena to drop the mat, continuing to dislike what they see, until Cena reverses a hammer throw, sending a champ into the corner as we go to an picture-in-picture. Picture-in-picture, both men slowly get to their feet, but the pace kick picks up when Cena goes for a double A, only for Sami to counter out, taking the challenger down for a 2 count. Sami brings Cena back to his feet for not just a moment, taking him back down before climbing to the turnbuckle. He gets the drop on Cena, but only gets a near fall for it. Cena turns things around, connecting with a 5-knuckle shuffle on the champ, but Sami saves for a double A for a Blue Thunder Bomb in a closed 2 count as we come back from the break. Sami looks to stay in control as he brings Cena back up, but Cena fights back and catches Sami on his shoulders for a double A, covered by Cena, but the champ manages to kick out to save his title. Both men are down now. The ref is checking on them as Sami starts to stir first. Sami heads to the corner where he goes for an exploder counter. Cena counters, hitting a pop-up powerbomb on the champ for a 2 count of his own. Both men back up as Sami sends the challenger for a corner for a hell of a kick. But Cena manages to dodge it, hitting what looks like an angle slam, Zayn for a near fall. Cena is back in control as he brings the champ to his feet. Sami fights back, leading an exchange of strikes, leading to a double down to the man that dropped it to the mat before we go to another picture-in-picture break. Picture-in-picture, Cena once again calls back to his first match in WWE with an ankle lock on Zayn, but the champ manages to roll through, only for Cena to transition to an STF. Sami is struggling as he crawls to the ropes, but Cena pulls him into the middle of the ring, clinching the hold in even tighter. Sami once again approaches the ropes, but Cena pulls him back again, and this allows Zayn to break free, rising to his feet to land in double A on Cena. Cena is in the corner as Sami struggles to capitalize, finally managing to get back to his feet, so he can head to the corner. He sets up for a hell of a kick, but runs to another double A by Cena. and once again manages to just barely kick out. Both men are barely stirring on the canvas as we come back from the break. Cena slowly getting to his feet as we go to get to replay of double A moments as we go go as we miss Zayn hitting an exploder that sends the challenger into the turnbuckle. This is followed by a hell of a kick by the champ as he makes the cover to only to get a 2 count. He gets back up, climbing the turnbuckle, only for Cena to catch him once again. This time hitting Zayn with a GTS of CM Punk for the cover, but Zayn is just able to kick out before 3. Cena heads to the corner as we finally see what he has in mind when he hits a spear on Zayn. Shades of Edge, I mean. Roman Reigns for another 2 count. Cena tries to figure out what to do next, and the crowd encourages him with an RKO chant. Cena goes for 1, but gets blocked by the champ. Cena props him up on a turnbuckle, and despite for some resistance from Zayn, he manages to avalanche double A. Triple A? Don't be confused. Sending the champ down hard to the mat. We get a justified "This is awesome" chant. This is awesome. This is awesome. When suddenly Brock Lesnar's music hits and Abuse has arrived in Chicago, he heads down the ramp, pulling an ref out of the ring before sliding into an F5 on Sami Zayn. He lands on Cena for good measure. An initial pop for Lesnar quickly turns to boos. Lesnar pays no mind to all this as he brings Cena to another F5. He leaves the ring as it appears this match has ended in no contest before we head to commercial. The match ends in no contest. WWE preventing confirmation. Commercial break. We get a look back. In the closing minute that opened the match, focus on the attack from Brock Lesnar, who laid out Cena with 2 F5s. Backstage, Lesnar walks through Gorilla Christian letting Cena know he'll see John at Wrestlepalooza. We get a graphic confirming the match for cutting away. Man, how many times are we going to see Brock Lesnar? How many times are we going to see Cena and Lesnar over and over and over and over and over again? How many times, man? It's crazy. We get a look. Alright, elsewhere, Nick Aldis is interrupted by Melo Miz before agreeing to Miz's request for a tag title match. He walks away as we see Melo was not interested and said match was paying to an arriving limo with Becky stepping out, the man whore. Video package. Aleister Black addresses Damian Priest ahead of their match tonight. We head to ringside as Damian Priest heads down the ramp for our next match, only to be blindsided by Aleister Black. He continues the assault by sending Priest into the barricade. He's finally stepping into the ring as the ref checks on Priest as we go to a commercial break. We come back to see Black continuing to lay into Priest, finally bringing him back into the ring as we get this match underway. Damian Priest versus Aleister Black. Priest is struggling to get to his feet in the corner as Aleister lays in some hard strikes. Priest fights back with a headbutt, but Black clutches his arms to bring him to the mat for a near fall. Priest goes back up first, sending Aleister to the corner before struggling on his feet once more. This gives Black an opening as he takes Damian down with a meteor, but it's only good for a 2 count as he sits in the corner before we go to a commercial break. Commercial break. Back from the break, Priest turns things around, catching Black in the turnbuckle. He sets up a razor edge, but Aleister Black breaks free. He also stops a heaving for a kick that gets Aleister for a near fall. Black sends Priest to the corner, taking a couple of shots from near Damian before looking for another kick, only to get dropped by the mat by Damian Priest. Both men make it to their feet as Priest lands a set of boots on Black. He hitting the ropes to running back to a kick by Aleister, and responding with another boot, sending Black to the canvas. Priest goes for an old school on Aleister, who rolls out of the ring. Damian falls with a landing flatliner that sends Aleister face first onto the apron before setting up the table to land on the razor's edge that slams back into the announce table. Aleister is the table as the announce table doesn't break before Priest brings him back into the ring. Black backs off into corner, but is pulled into a south of Heathen by Damien. Gets the ref in the way, getting him the opening he needs for Black Mass to get the win. Winner via pinfall, Aleister Black. We get a graphic reminding us of the Women's U.S. Championship match, and that is coming up next. Commercial break. Twisted Tea presents a look at the feud between Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre. Commentary hypes up Drew McIntyre for next week, as well as Brock Lesnar set to appear in a WWE Women's Championship match as a Smackdown Women's Championship match as Tiffany Stratton defends against Jade Cargill. Backstage, we hear from the champ who runs down Jade ahead of that match. He says Jade won't have to worry about her foot against being on the ropes, because Tiffany's foot will be right up her, let's just say, the eye of the storm. We cut away as Jade has it out with Nia Jax, the two trading heated words as the recent losses of the champ. Jade tells Jax to back off or she'll catch these hands. Braun Strowman presumably nods in approval from where he is watching. Back at the ringside, Julia is accompanied by Kiana James as she heads down the ramp. She is set to defend her Women's United States Championship against Misha up next. Commercial break. Backstage, Nick Aldis tries to talk to Becky Lynch, addressing that CM Punk is in the building. He says there cannot be any issues tonight, something the man whore insists won't be a problem when she leaves the office. Back at ringside, Julia wakes her challenger as Misha makes her entrance. She heads down the ramp to Zero Pop as we look back at Julia's attack on Misha last week with both women in the ring. We get this match underway. Here we go. Women's U.S. Championship match. Julia defends against Misha. Misha goes on the offense, quickly forcing the champ to the outside before bringing Julia back in the ring. She confronts James before getting back in the ring herself, taking the champ through the ropes to the outside once more, but Julia catches her in the ropes, blocking a Blake's baseball slide to take the challenger to the floor as we go to commercial. Commercial break. Back from break, both women are in the ring as Julia lands some headbutts on Misha. German suplex from the champ is responded to in kind by the challenger. They take each other out with a kick, drop to the mat. Misha's on her feet. Misha is the first to her feet, landing a kick on the champ before sending her into the corner for a cannonball. She pulls Julia in the middle of the ring for a 2 count, but Julia counters and eat defeat to lands a Northern Lights bomb for a near fall of her own. Misha manages to fight back with a sit-out powerbomb for another 2 count as Kiana steps on the apron to intervene, only to be dropped to the mat with a head scissors, but this gives the champ an opening for a running knee. Reva Dershi says the champ picks up the win to retain the title. Winner via pinfall and still Women's U.S. Champion Julia. Julia starts to attack Misha again after the match, with James joining in before the ref manages to break it up. We get a look back at the Women's Tag Team Championship match, WWE Women's Tag Team Championship match being called off after Charlotte Flair was attacked before heading backstage. Charlotte is waiting to get cleared as Alexa and then Dr. Lily show up. Bliss offers some words of advice, leaving Lily and Charlotte before walking away. And burn it down! We head back to the ringside. We see Seth Rollins in the crowd with his World Heavyweight title, a piece of shit in hand, and everything. But CM Punk and Becky Lynch are already in the building. Can only wonder what's going to happen next as we go to a commercial break. Yeah, gee whiz, I wonder. We're going to commercial break. The moment we've been waiting for. We're back, and Seth Rollins has a microphone. Rollins says, "Tonight we all witness to history because the legend of your hero CM Punk dies tonight." This gets a CM Punk chant, something Seth delights in before we introduce the greatest female wrestler of all time. Not the greatest, the worst female wrestler of all time. She is the Women's Intercontinental Champion and Seth's Irish cunt of a wife. He gives you the man whore Becky Lynch. Out comes the man whore herself. A chorus of boos as the champ makes her way down the ramp. We cut between her entrance, Seth cheering her on. She enters the ring to more boos from the crowd, and music fades up and up rises an AJ Lee chant. Much to the shock of Becky Lynch, the man whore Becky Lynch, she says, "How dare you? How dare you chant another person's name while she's still standing in this ring?" Well, too bad. She says she's the greatest female wrestler of all time. Actually, the worst. It's not just her. Other people saying it. Sports Illustrated said. Chicago Tribune says it. Bullshit. She even says it would expect that Chicago will be the greatness. Looks like their teams all suck. They suck so bad they're trading Kobe White away from the Bulls. Hey, Michael Jordan will be there. Then I say some shit about my boy Michael. They suck so bad trading Kobe White away from the Bulls. This textbook heel promo gets cut off by the music of CM Punk. After a moment, Punk steps out on the stage as the crowd sings his theme. Punk walks down to the ramp, giving some appreciation to fans in the front row on his way to the ring. We get a real nice wide shot showing Seth up in the crowd waving at Punk as he poses on the apron on a turnbuckle before getting into the ring itself. He stares down Lynch before getting the microphone. Crowd chants CM Punk's name. Punk says this isn't about Becky. It's about her coward of a husband. But Lynch says it's also about her. She asks Punk if Punk is embarrassed, but Punk says he isn't. Not as embarrassed as a coward of her husband. Hiding behind Paul Heyman's goons. Yeah. Fat walrus. Paul Heyman and his goons. Becky asks Punk how is his face doing, how his pride is doing. Another AJ Lee chant gets shut down by Becky Lynch. But Punk says she won't let them chant the name of AJ Lee. If it bothers her so much, she shouldn't have stuck her nose where it doesn't belong. We're in Chicago. If you think he can just snap his fingers and would have had one of his sisters beat up Becky Lynch, he brings up Bayley, to which Becky says she beat her already. She also brings up Rhea Ripley, who the same woman she faced at WrestleMania. What was it? WrestleMania 21, WrestleMania 20, WrestleMania. What was it? WrestleMania 21. Wait, WM. What was it? WrestleMania. Let's see. WrestleMania 41, was it? I think it was WrestleMania 40 or something. No, I think it was WrestleMania. I think it was WrestleMania 40. Was it WrestleMania 42 or something? No, wait, what am I talking about? WrestleMania 41, wait. WrestleMania 40. I think that was WrestleMania 40. Yeah, that was WrestleMania 40. Yeah, it was last year's WrestleMania 40. Yeah, she could forget. WrestleMania 40 with Becky Lynch, Rhea Ripley beat her beat her at WrestleMania 40 for a title, and I guess Rhea was right about what she mentioned about her daughter last year, wasn't she? Yeah, Rhea, before Lynch responds, slapping Punk in the face over and over again. Punk refuses to fight back on this, leaving the ring as Becky tells him to run away. Punk says this is a hype situation he never wanted to be in. He would never put his hands on a lady, but I know someone will. Yep, there she is, his wife, AJ Lee. Light it up, light it up, da, da, da. Yeah, AJ Lee steps out onto the stage to a huge pop from the Chicago crowd. She skips down a slant, now losing a step from when we lost saw her as she circles the ring, smiling at Punk. She turns her attention to Becky as she gets on the apron, stepping through the ropes as the crowd gets more electric. Holy shit chants muted like crazy by USA Network as Becky charges at Lee, who drops the champ onto the mat for some punches. Becky tries to leave the ring, but AJ pulls her back for some more damage. She brings Becky to the corner for some more strikes before lining the man up for a slap. That sends Becky rolling out of the ring. She retreats from the ring as Punk steps in. Rollins scrambling through the crowd to regroup with his wife to the ramp. Punk and Lee embrace in the ring before it climbs to the turnbuckle to bring Big Pop as we in SmackDown with a stare down between two couples. Very good ending. I'm pleased like this. I hope this match happens. AJ Lee versus Becky Lynch, Women's Intercontinental title at Wrestlepalooza, where I live, Indianapolis. Please, I hope they make that happen. It's about time someone finally shut Becky Lynch up. Finally. Very good ending. Hopefully, Wrestlepalooza will be this very good, really good tomorrow. I bet, hopefully. 2 weeks from tomorrow. Pray to God, hopefully. So that's my review. Now it's time for something I like to do. All you know what it's time for. All you know what it's time for. It's time for Justin's Timeline History, all the wrestling birthdays, timeline history, and all the pop culture and everything in sports. All you hear that thing is a thing from Back to the Future style, Michael J. Fox and Christopher Lloyd. Celebrated its 40th anniversary on July 3rd, 2005, because the movie was released July 3rd, 2005. The movie was released July 3rd, 1985 in theaters. So let's go to yesterday, September the 4th. Okay, let's see. Yesterday would have been a happy would have been a happy 83rd birthday to Jerry Jarrett, the father of WWE Hall of Famer Jeff Jarrett. Jerry Kozak would have been. Yeah, he died. Yeah, Jerry, he died on. Yeah, Jerry, he died on February 14th, 2023, and and Jerry Kozak would have been 91 yesterday. He died of bladder cancer. Canadian wrestler. He died on March the 5th, 2014. Xavier Woods turned 39 yesterday over the New Day. Let's see. Let's see now. Yes. Let's see. Sports. Sports on Monday Night Football. The season premiere of Monday Night Football. The Dallas Cowboys defeated the New York Giants 35-0 in Giants Stadium, Brewford, New Jersey, on ABC's Monday Night Football. And let's see. Okay, and guess what? The show that started it all began. The birth of the Monday Night Wars between WWE Monday Night Raw on the USA Network and the premiere of WCW Monday Nitro on TNT began. This is the first WCW. This is the first episode attempt to overtake the struggling of the WWE project, which then was called the WWF World Wrestling Federation. These initial versions of Nitro were all live, 1 hour shows. Eric Bischoff, Mongo, Bobby Heenan doing the commentary with Heenan and Mongo not liking it. And the dark match, the first match of the show was Jushin Thunder Liger facing off against Flying Brian Pillman, and Flying Brian and Pillman won the match. Sting versus Ric Flair ended no contest for the United States title. No contest. Hulk Hogan would until Arn Anderson interfered and attacked Ric Flair, causing an ascension between the Four Horsemen. Then Hulk Hogan with Jimmy Hart defeated Big Bubba Rogers. Some of you know was the Big Boss Man, who retained the WCW World Heavyweight Champ title. And then Lex Luger came out, made his return to WCW. And then there were some issues brewing. Then Then they started to fight. They started a fight until Sting and Rock and Randy Savage come out and stop the cinch between the two. Then Luger tells Hogan that he wants to face him for the World Heavyweight title next Monday in Miami. And they shook hands and then they shook hands. They start having a little fight to get his yeah. This took place in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Yep, this took place. Yep. Yep, Minneapolis, Minnesota. Then on yesterday when yesterday was a happy fit and yesterday by the way yesterday was a happy 65th birthday to Damon Wayans, comedian, one of my favorite comedians growing up. Love Damon Wayans. And let's see on WWE Sunday Night Heat. Rod Conway defeated Max Striker. Rene Dupree defeated Mike Patrick. And Val Venus Sylvester defeated the Heartthrobs, Antonio Romero. And Curran White, so you know as Charles Aguero, defeated Tajiri. Terrible gimmick, WWE gimmick. Then in 2015 movie was released in theaters starring Before We Go. And it starred Chris Evans and Alice Eve. And now 2000 now let's go to today's September the 5th. Okay, Ray Stevens, wrestler Ray Stevens. Ray Stevens, he would have been 880. Ray Stevens, he would have been 90 years old today. He's died on May 3rd, 1996. Died of heart failure. Yeah, May 3rd. Yeah, he died of heart failure on May 3rd, 1996. He was 80. Been 90 years old today. And let's see. On this day in 1995 on ECW Hardcore TV, Hack Myers defeats JT via count out ECW World Tag Team Championship. Raven's Nest, Ravens Race, Stevie, Race, Raven and Stevie Richards defeat Pitbull's number one, number two to retaining titles, World Tag Team Championship. And on this day, 2005, on Monday Night Raw, hyping up to Unforgiven. Kurt Angle defeated Eugene. Then Cena John Cena came to his aid. Val Venus, and then Angle destroyed Cena. And Val Venus and Viscera defeated Heartthrobs Antonio and Romeo. Snitsky defeated Matt Hardy until commentary Edge and Lee coming out to taunt Matt Hardy. And then we see a little Carlito's Cabana. Carlito's guest was Ashley Massara talking about getting her hands on Tori and Candice. Then Ric Flair, and then and Carlito's about to spit the apple in her face until Ric Flair comes in to her aid and attacks Carlito. And Ric Flair tells Carlito that he wants his Intercontinental title at Unforgiven 2005. And Tori Wilson, Candice Michelle, and Victoria came out of a match and face off against Ashley. Then they defeated Ashley with help with cheat to win. And Rod Conway defeated Shelton Benjamin until Kerwin White interfered with something that was Chavo Guerrero, costing the match. And Lance Cade and Trevor Murdoch defeated Hurricane and Rosie. Then Stevie Richards came out to challenge Shawn Michaels to take the match slot challenge, and then we see some disgusting conduct, and he beat some conduct he beats Shawn Michaels bloody him. Then he won't let wrestler. He won't even put some match slot. The referees came out trying to get off of him. Then he decides to let him go. As Monday Night Raw ends. Yeah, and Lance Kennedy and Trevor Murdoch in their WWE debut defeated Rosie and Hurricane. Yep, and the show ended with Shawn Michaels being busted wide open, putting Chris Masters and match law champion. The referees came out to help him get off him. Show ends. And let's see what else. See. Yeah, and I think I think that's it. Well, that will do for my show tonight. Subscribe to me, Godfather Soldier Slimming. Hope I have a good night. And and as late Chad Henshaw said, I like to dress like a chubby trick saying like she danced like James Brown. I didn't get in the hot tub. Gonna be sweat. Gonna be dry. Gonna be wet. Referring to Eddie Murphy doing an impression of James Brown Saturday Night Live back in the 80s. I never grew up in the 80s, grew up in the 90s, but I saw old school Saturday Night Live on Comedy Central when I was little in the 90s. That'll do for my show tonight. I got to close out soon for all of you tonight, since all of you know that yesterday was the 30th anniversary of the Monday Night Wars between WWE flagship show Monday Night Raw on the USA Network and WCW debut with WCW Night Monday Nitro on TNT. I'm gonna close out something for all of you tonight. I'm gonna the theme songs from both shows called We're All Together Now in the WCW thing and the WCW Monday Night Nitro thing. So hope all have a good night. So hope all have a good night. And here it is. Close out the theme song tonight. We're all together now. The Monday Night Raw theme song. Yeah, I know even well, yeah, the Thorn in the Iron. We're all together now. Yes, I'm in the WCW Monday Night thing, Monday Nitro thing. So have a good night, everybody.